time I saw your face.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Soundtrack of Our Lives podcast. I'm Michaela, and today we are joined by Mike and Colton. So, we're going to start off with the hardest question of all. Who are you, and what have you been up to lately?
That's Colton, and I'm Mike, and we have been up to, what have we been up to, Colton? Have we been up to anything good? We've been trying to book shows, tours, like mini tours, shows around everywhere else but New Jersey. So that's kind of, I guess maybe that's a really good answer for you, is that because a lot of like people always ask us, a lot of our fans, our small fan base, when are you going to come play like here? When are you going to come play there? Well, this actually might be happening finally. So we've been trying to put together a little mini tour in the summer, and then like a little like weekend runs here and there in the spring. So yeah, that's kind of what we've been up to.
That's exciting.
It's actually really exciting. I hope it comes like true. It happens. There's a lot that goes into it with booking venues and, routing and stuff, things that, I think people don't realize. So
yeah, people don't always realize the mechanics to make a show happen.
Definitely not.
So, is there any places in particular that you want to go and play?
Yeah, so we like have been pretty aware through like our social media of where certain fans live and like our pockets. So definitely like number one, and I mean I'm not trying to like rank it out of favorites, but like one spot definitely that we know has a really strong pocket is like the Ohio, Columbus, Cleveland area. So that's a spot like we really want to hit because a lot of people keep asking us to come play there, and it's really awesome. Another area is around like North Carolina. I'm not sure exactly where in North Carolina because I know there's like Raleigh, there's Charlotte and stuff, and I know they're not very close to each other either. Like North Carolina's huge, so that's another spot. But yeah, like Boston also. There's pockets there, and it's kind of like it's really like uncertain per se, but like Colton, if you want to talk about like how we check like Spotify and stuff, we do that with our listeners.
Oh yeah. So basically, it's cool because I don't know if but basically, so they have Spotify for artists where we can kind of go in and see it's our metrics for Spotify, and like Mike said, it's cool because it'll break it down into various cities of who's where listening to us. So that's nice, and we definitely always want to try and check out those places because it'll be easier to get more people out to a show, and at least I'm always of the mindset that the more people, the more fun that it's going to be. So that's always nice. And me personally, I'm down to kind of go wherever. There are a lot of places that I really haven't been. Like I've never been to the Carolinas, to Ohio, like one time, but that was like way back in the day. So yeah, I would just kind of like, for me, I kind of also view it as like not a vacation per se, but little mini travel plans while you get to play some music in between.
For someone who hasn't seen you live, what should they expect?
It depends on the day. No.
I mean, I think energy. I think we have a nice energy up there. I mean, our songs are like super upbeat, so I mean that like right there like helps us out as far as bringing energy. So yeah, I think like a lot of people when you come to our show, a lot of people that have not seen us are surprised. I think by the energy, like the catchiness of the songs, and a lot of people usually give us feedback where they just feel like it's like pop radio kind of stuff, so it's like easy, I guess, to listen to. So even if you haven't seen us before, I feel like that we kind of like play to that like that easier sound where it's catchy and you feel like like I could kind of get into this. So I mean that's definitely one thing.
And I feel like it translates, but we have a lot of fun up there, so I feel like people can kind of sense that and know that they kind of, it's an invitation for them to kind of have some fun too.
Do you have a favorite or most memorable show that you've played?
Wonder Bar for me, Mike.
Yeah, I think that was probably what I don't know what you would call it.
Yeah,
like
so I guess
like it was like
the background on that. Yeah, so when we put together this EP, we were kind of not struggling per se, but it was kind of difficult to kind of get some venues and whatnot, which is not going to get too far into it, but typical in this town, if you will. But so then when we did get Wonder Bar, I remember I'm like buddies. I hang out with the the guy who kind of manages it, runs it, and we were hanging out, and I was like, dude, do you happen to know like how many pre-sales we got? And I just remember the number was like way higher than I thought it was going to, and long story short, we ended up selling it out, which I don't think, initially any of us really thought was kind of going to happen because it's kind of a big venue. But yeah, we absolutely packed that place out and saw a lot of people that, have been supporting us for a while. And it was such a cool feeling for me.
Yeah, yeah, and I think like to piggyback off that, we've been doing the band for a little while now, and we kind of, like most bands, we had to kind of fight through the pandemic. Unfortunately, we like just started in 2020, so that didn't really help things.
Rough timing.
Yeah, it was really rough timing and like rough landing. But so we had to kind of like get things going, and so it was a long time coming, and just growing our small fan base, being able to see them pack the Wonder Bar, which is a really cool place. If you've ever heard of the Jersey Shore, like Asbury Park area, it's like basically like the staple venue besides the Stone Pony. That's been there for a long time. So it was really just awesome, being able to play there and have a huge crowd for us. So yeah, that's probably like the most memorable. I mean, there's other ones.
Well, also I'll say too, with the Wonder Bars is we kind of got to pick the lineup. So we ended up getting to play with people that we enjoyed, playing with, like other bands that we're kind of like friendly or friends with.
Yeah, that's always fun, playing with bands that you get along with and like their music and support each other. That's like a big thing,
Yeah, nice to have that support around you.
For sure.
So the EP Mistakes Are a Friend of Mine has been out for a couple of months now. What have people thought of it?
It's funny because we were kind of like dropping singles for that EP starting in April, May. And we heard like a lot of really good things. And it's just really funny. I guess I say funny because like we then dropped, a few songs when the whole EP came out. And we didn't really hear a lot about those songs. It kind of took, like a month or so. And we were like, I don't know. We started thinking like, oh no, like are the rest of the songs like, eh? And then like all of a sudden, like all we hear from people now that we've been like really like pushing it is like, oh my God, like I love Happy Again. Oh my God, like I love like our cover of Girls Wanna Have Fun. Like it's really cool. So I guess like, like we never really dropped an EP before, so we weren't really sure what to expect. And we know we had some really good singles up front that we were dropping, but just seeing the whole culmination of the whole thing and people really, really feeling it. And I think like because when we dropped it, I think everyone kind of realized like it wasn't just a breakup album. We were kind of, I don't want to get too much into it because I feel like we're kind of past that, but like we were kind of like painting it like a breakup album in the beginning, but it's like so much more. It's more about like kind of like growing as a person, going through tough times. And it was nice like hearing people kind of like identify with that, not just like the typical breakup,
Yeah. Did you have anything to add, Colton?
No, I mean, not really. No, I guess it's been good. I hate to be like a numbers guy, but the only thing is I'll say I've gone on Spotify for artists and like just to see where the number of plays that album's at is something I never dreamed of. And high school me would be it would be blown away. So it was it's really cool. And I guess just kind of for me is I always kind of look to bring positivity, I guess, if that makes sense, even in that. So I definitely had people that have, said some nice things about it, but yeah, it's it seems overwhelmingly, I guess, more positive than negative.
Yeah, and I think like what's interesting too is like we were at a point where we weren't sure if we were going to keep doing the band anymore. We kind of, like there's just a lot that goes into life, and besides just being in a band, right? So like having to do a band, budget, make money, save money, travel, record,
while we all do our day-to-day real life.
Yeah, it's really hard to give it your all. And we were kind of like, I don't know, like we'll see what people think. And I don't know, I think the very first initial response was I thought maybe it was like a bit of a dud. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but then we started like marketing it a little bit and promoting it. And like it's been like overwhelming. Like after like putting a few bucks into marketing and advertising, we were like, holy crap! Like people, like if you just kind of get it out there a little bit more, because like social media can be tough getting your stuff in front of other stuff. I was like, oh damn! Like all right, people are really responding to this, so maybe let's kind of keep it going a little longer,
So kind of going off of interactions, do you have any memorable fan interactions that really stand out?
Well, there's one that we got flown out to play a private birthday party. So that's a big fan interaction for us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. mean, that's just off the top of my head. I'm trying to think of other ones, but yeah, we had a really awesome supporter, fan, friend too, and I guess now, yeah, a friend, and she asked us to come to California. She'll pay for everything, so airfare, hotel, Airbnb, whatever, rental, whatever,
Car
food.
rental, that was a big
Yep,
thing.
yep, and had us play her birthday party at Hotel Cafe in LA, and it was like such an amazing experience because like we're just a little band from Jersey. We always believe in ourselves. Our stuff's we always felt our stuff was good, but like it's hard. Like I said, getting in front of other bands, but she liked us so much that she had us come out and we got to spend time at a birthday party, time to hang out with her, and just just getting to know her. So that's
what was another one? I feel like we're missing a good one. Well, the first time, how about the first time we played Music Fest, and then that couple that was afterwards, we were just like grabbing a drink, and they came over, and they were like, "Oh my god!" There are a lot of people. Yeah.
Well, actually, what's funny? If you want to tell the metal show stuff, like with
that's a good one too. Yeah,
that's always good. Like if you want to tell that, yeah.
All right, yeah. So we this was, I forget exactly when, but it was we played this show in Pennsylvania, and it was a laser tag venue, but it had like a stage, but like the size of the room was probably like the size of like my bedroom. Like
Wait,
it was.
They built a room inside the laser tag arena,
yeah,
just for shows, and it was like a shoebox. It felt like you were like.
It was tiny. It was.
Did you get to play laser tag?
No,
we didn't. I wish that would have been cool.
Wish.
Yeah, but anyway, so we played the show, and it was kind of like an odd lineup, I guess. So we played with it was a funeral portrait, right, Mike?
Yeah, this band called the Funeral Portrait, who's actually blown up a lot over the past couple of years. But yeah,
and they so we go by, basically everybody's all dressed in black, and it's kind of like a goth kind of show, and like hard rock and maybe metal-ish. But anyway, so here we are playing our bubblegum pop, and like I go up on stage and I'm like, "Hey guys, we might be a little bit like softer rock than like you're used to, or whatever." But anyway, like nothing, I say this jokingly, but they're kind of like a little intimidating looking, all these people like just kind of nodding their heads, staring at you, like wearing all black and stuff like that. But then after the show, like we always try and stick around, and so I stick around and I like go out into the crowd, and like they're just like honestly like so over the top, like nice. They were like coming up to me, they're like, "Hey," like again, like looking all like all potentially scary, and they're like, "Hey, just want to let you know, like you guys, like I really enjoyed your music, and like that was like so much fun to see you guys." And I think we got like a lot of fans from that show. But yeah, they were some of the nicest people that I've interacted with, I think, after a show.
Yeah, and I mean, like, not to, I mean, obviously you can't judge a book by its cover. We all know that, but it was a different scene for us. And like we were just like, I hope they like us a little bit, like they don't think we're like too like Mickey Mouse or something, But yeah, and like we've learned, like honestly, like you can't judge a book by its cover. Like there's so many different kinds of people out there that just love all kinds of music, and you just gotta believe in yourself,
You had mentioned earlier, the struggle between like band life, work, everything else. What advice would you give to somebody who is struggling with that balance?
Boy, you need to have that's a tough one. That's really tough. Yeah.
Well, I'll say first and foremost is like make sure you like who you're hanging out with in your band, because it's like anything else. If you have to enjoy it first and foremost. And if you don't enjoy it, number one, that's gonna be even tougher. But number two is something I'm kind of getting used to is there does come a point where it honestly, not to say it's not fun, but it becomes a business kind of or things. Not everything is going to be fun all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So however much I would just love to go out and play shows and things like that, we have to do the content days, and we have to, not that I don't enjoy it, but we have to do podcasts, and we got to do meetings, and everything like that, rather than back, I guess, when you started, just kind of let's write music and try and play some shows. And now you're dealing with booking agents, and you got to sync things, and so I guess the advice would be you got to like it first and foremost, because if not, it's going to be even tougher, I guess.
Yeah, and now I have time to think, but like he's dead on with that. Like you first have to like what you're doing. You have to like making music, or like the lifestyle, of music. But you have to also just reflect on and also make goals that are like attainable. because I feel like if you look too far down the line, you're gonna drive yourself crazy. But it's like, why am I not like signed by a record label? Why am I not getting these big tours? You have to really look at like it's really a slow burn, like 100%. You have to like really just say like, okay, like maybe this year, what I can handle is I want to play a certain amount of shows. I want to try to record a few songs, and then like see after a year like how that went. And honestly, like it's really a slow burn. A lot of people think you're just gonna like start a band and get signed to a record label, and that like is, especially these days, is like almost never gonna happen unless like you blow up on TikTok. And even now, like TikTok artists are now, I mean, like we, so I guess like to answer your question, you have to really just kind of like balance, like do what you can, balance it out, enjoy what you're doing, and like, have target goals and look back at like what you did. Because like me and Colton, we kind of like say to ourselves like, oh man, like it's still taking a while. But then we look back, at like the 4 or 5 years, and we're like, damn, like we accomplished like so much more than we actually
it's almost 6, dude. It's almost 6.
Yeah, I know. So like, we always go back to like when me and Colton, when we first started, we'd sit in his parents' backyard, like he'd have a smoke break, and we would just talk, and we'd be like, damn, like someday, like I want to play like this venue. Well, now we look back 5 years later, we did. Like, oh, like, like I want to have like this many followers. Oh, boom, we did. You know what I mean? So it's like, you got to really just kind of like take it one day at a time. And if you can't do that, then yeah, like it's not gonna work out, because you're gonna drive yourself crazy, So just do what you can, and just enjoy what you're doing.
And I guess just to piggyback on that too is have fun. It's, that's the whole point of it, have fun, enjoy yourself. And I guess to the advice part is just don't be too hard on yourself. Just enjoy it, see what happens,
That's some very good advice. Looking back on the 5, you said almost 6 years, what advice would you give yourself when you first started?
COVID is happening.
Yeah, don't play your first show till 2022.
Advice that we would give ourselves.
I would probably say a lot of what I was just kind of saying, because I feel like we've just kind of learned some of that the past year and a half. Like we were so, like we really thought like it was gonna just happen. We thought, oh, like we have great songs. Like we really thought, and like the advice you have to give yourself is like it's gonna take time, and it could take a very long time. It could take a medium amount of time, but it's not gonna happen like right away. And again, like Colton said, have fun. Like always remember what you're like, why you're doing it. It's because you love writing songs, playing music. Like that's why you did it. You didn't do it to I personally am not doing it to become like famous and like a big time like millionaire. Like I just like making music, I mean, some people do that, but yeah, like just really just like find things that you enjoy about it. Make sure you're having fun. Like that really is like what I would have told myself. And I probably would have been like, yo, like, you're crazy, but it's true though. It's true. Like small battles, every year you'll have small, attainable goals you've reached. And, don't drive yourself crazy, because there's lots of talented bands that never made it, So that's what I would give myself.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of, I don't know. I kind of feel like things just worked out, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I have any advice to us. I just, everything kind of played out, I feel like.
So Colton, you'd be like, just ride the wave, bro. It's all going to work out just fine.
Yeah, dude. Just keep, do what you're going to do, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. 2 different approaches.
Definitely. In more ways than one.
Yeah.
How do you manage, the relationship being, in a band for so long together?
You want to take that one?
Oh, you want me to take it?
I feel like I'm taking a lot of them, so I figure,
well, no, I was saying, great for me. I feel like I just tend to blabber a lot. We're friends. I mean, that's, it goes back to, which, by the way, thank you so much for not having the exact same first question that literally everybody has when we do podcasts. How'd you guys meet?
I don't like doing that question, because I feel like that's the question everyone asks.
Well, yes. So yes, for the record, and for any other journalists or bloggers or podcast people doing this, bands hate that question. Just literally look at the website or whatever. But no, so just real quick on that. We did meet off of Craigslist, but we became friends. And in my ad, like I that's what I was looking for. I don't, like I said, I didn't just want to show up and rehearse and then go home. I wanted like somebody to hang out with, and that makes it easier because there have been times where even recently, Michael called me and he'll be like, "Hey, dude, like not really even like band stuff, like you just like want to hang out." So I think that's like going back to the having fun part is it's just we get along very well. We're friends, and that makes it very easy, at least for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think like outside the band, we have like a lot of similarities that we both really enjoyed, like golf. We both played hockey growing up. Like I mean, there's other things too, but like yeah, we're pretty similar in those respects, and it makes it easier. But like yeah, I mean, being in a band, like you gotta be friends with somebody. I don't get how you could just do a band and be a business, but sometimes that's what it turns out being. Sometimes bands you are friends and then you become like you hate each other and you just do it like a business. And at that rate, I don't know how that even works. But yeah, I mean, have fun and just be friends with each other, do other things besides just band related stuff.
It's important to like the people that you hang out with.
Very much so.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you want to go like on tour with them.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
That would just not be fun if you were not friends with them.
But we also, I mean, yeah, because we also like, there's this one rehearsal studio that we go to, and like we have our spots where we always like we'll go and like grab like food before or after, like a drink before or after, and not so much now just because of our like scheduling, but there are definitely times where we'll just like the three of us will just go out, hang out, and kind of have like we always say. I mean, the band usually comes up, but basically just kind of a boys hang. It's just yeah.
Yeah, we do more of our socializing, like hanging, like spring, summertime period. Like the winter is brutal. It's like, what are you gonna do?
No one wants to go out.
No. And everyone's just sick all the time in the wintertime. Yeah.
Okay. Before I ask the last question, was there anything else that you guys wanted to mention or talk about?
No, I mean, I think we, you nailed that we have the EP out, which is really awesome. If you like a broad, or a lot of styles of music, I feel like the EP's for you. It has a lot, I mean, has a lot of like pop rock and indie pop rock, but it also has like awesome ballads. It has a lot of like indie, like pop stuff going on. I think like if anybody likes just general pop rock music, they'd find something on our EP that they would like. So definitely want to make sure that people just are aware of that because we love it.
Yeah, and if you have Spotify, listen to it on our "This Is the Break Plans" playlist because that's better than just listening to it off of our profile.
Yeah, that's the one that we keep pushing because it's better to have people listening to music all in one spot than just going around and picking and choosing. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all. I mean, I appreciate you having us. It's awesome just getting a chance to chat for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, of course. I love meeting new people and, hearing all sorts of new music that I haven't heard before.
Well, awesome. It's nice meeting you.
So sorry.
No, I was going to say, yes, it is nice meeting you. And thank you for having us as well.
Of course. Well, thanks, Gabby. Thanks to Gabby for setting it up.
Thanks, Gabby.
Yeah, no, Gabby was awesome. She was very flexible. I told her we had to move it to 7:30 because of childcare stuff, real life stuff.
Life happens.
Stuff. And she's like, oh, no worries. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So the last question is, what is the soundtrack of your life?
Ooh, that's a good question. So let's see, the soundtrack of my life. Cold. I know you love Coldplay stuff. I feel like Coldplay is kind of like your soundtrack, right?
Oh, are we talking like music?
It can be whatever you want because it's your life.
Or a movie too. I don't know. It's a really good question. The soundtrack of my life. I feel like I guess if I had to just go something off, like just shoot something off the cuff here, I would probably say something like pop punk emo, just like the anthemic music, like those like what would you want to call it, coming of age stuff. Like I feel like that's kind of like where I'm at is like you finally like accept yourself later on in life. You kind of have been through the ringer and all that, and happy endings and stuff like that in movies. I feel like life can be tough sometimes, and then you find people, you have relationships, you have good friends, and usually it all works out in the end. And I feel like a lot of those like anthemic coming of age movies and soundtrack stuff is kind of like my soundtrack, if that makes sense. I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah.
I guess mine is like if you took like a lot of the happy, catchy choruses of like all the songs, and you like put them together. That kind of explains like my head, because Mike knows like my like ADHD, how I go like one idea to this idea, but then back to this one. Oh, look, there's this. So I think it's kind of like that, like, you know, the earworms and you know, just trying to catch a good moment that you can kind of translate into music.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of like well said, Colt, for sure. As far as you, but yeah, I mean, I just feel like, you know, like those coming of age movies and the soundtracks and all that kind of stuff is definitely like where I'm at. You know, those feel good. You know, you kind of fought the battle, and then you kind of came out on the other side.
Okay, well, for all of our listeners who want to stay updated on you guys, potentially see you on tour, listen to the EP, where can they find you?
At The Break Plans on all of your social medias, thebreakplans.com. That's BREAK plans.
With a the in the front.
With a the. Yes, I forgot about it. Yeah, but we are all over social media. We always say this. Instagram is probably where you'll find us most active. And yeah, reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you if you like our music. If you dislike our music, yeah, let's hear that too, I guess.
You're allowed to dislike our music. It's totally cool with us.
Yeah, it's fine. We're still gonna make it anyway, so
just go easy on us. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you both so much for taking the time to talk to me today.
Of course, Michaela. Thank you for having us.
Thank you again for having us. Yeah.
Yeah, have a nice rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
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 Listeners, be sure to go check them out. And don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Blue Sky, and TikTok at SDLI's Podcast. Thanks for listening.
Way better off 'cause I find